Hello, Professor. I decided that to teach taxes and discounts, this would be the best place to go. A world in virtual reality, and I have two others helping me teach these factors. Now, the good thing is I did a lot of research on 7-Eleven. So, that actually helped a lot. And to understand sales tax changes depending on the place and area. Now, the sales tax up in Chicago would be probably different from the sales tax down here in Madison County. However, the sales tax down here for Madison County, if I could borrow that pencil, is 6.25%. Now, the way that we figure this out is essentially taking, I'll just have this represent a number for the time being, times 0.625%, or 0.625%. Now, as well, 7-Eleven has a lot of different types of deals. Like, obviously, this is not a slice of pizza, but we're just going to say it is. Where they have essentially pizza and
Well, they do have to where it's $10 large pizza and wings, 10 wings.
that is very true. That is very true. So actually, we'll use this. Plus tax where applicable. Yeah. So yeah, large pizza and 10 wings for $10. Now, to figure out the sales tax for this, essentially what we would do is we would do 10 times 0.0625, which is actually very easy because we just end up moving the decimal point over. So what we do is we just move the decimal point over to here, and essentially what the final price of that deal is $10.62 total. Now, let's say I don't know,
Nacho
cheese. We're gonna have these chips.
I know these can be quite expensive, especially around in gas stations and stuff. Because I think I've seen some go for around, can't even think of.
Oh, at Love's those were
prices
like
that I've seen around
at Love's
here.
those were like $2.99. Yeah, at Love's those are like $2.99. So
Cheaper up there at that Love's than I've seen. Okay then.
So if we're going based off of that though, those nachos, so $2.99, or aka basically $3. Thank you.
Very heavy nachos.
Let's say. So $2.99 times 0.0625 would be essentially an 18 cents increase in the price. Therefore, adding this together brings your total to have to do the math there. $3.17, which, yeah, sounds about right.
A lot cheaper than what I've had to get at some gas stations. Granted, I never get the gas station nachos. I usually, because I know up here where I am, we have a Casey's, and they
Casey's.
They have pizza and donuts and cookies and stuff, and obviously their teas and drinks. For one slice of pizza, it's about $2 and I want to say $2.20. But thing is, with tax and stuff, it goes up to around $3. And
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
We're also gonna cook a burger.
It's gonna take a lot of editing.
It will, but it will work.
If this one doesn't stop.
I didn't do anything.
Now, talking about discounts go by the same principles, except for the fact instead of adding on the price, you subtract, but of course taxes and discounts go hand in hand. So, for example, let's see here. Unless we don't have any of the like regular
I can tell you that up there at the cases and stuff, whenever my dad puts in his number, he usually gets about $1 off any items that he has. So we can get teas that are usually $2.75 for about $1, and I think just $1.75, but we usually can get just one tea for.
Alrighty. So,
But that's up here in Texas, so I don't know the difference between Illinois and Texas.
it depends. I mean,
This is why I said, are you sure you wanted him here for this?
yes, he's a great influence. He's great.
You're gonna have to do so much apologizing to your professor.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. Hi.
I can't make a thumbs up.
You can't make it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, thumbs up.
My right hand is broken apparently.
Why is your right hand broke?
Anyways, you should probably continue before
I can't
you.
open my hand. I can't make a thumbs up.
You should
only
probably continue
point.
before you lose your train of thought.
So now with that kind of discount goes on a bunch of different percentages. Speaking of the getting a $2.75 drink and getting $1 off that drink, essentially the formula that we would do is $2.75 divided by
You stop that.
2.75 basically, okay. So we do 175 divided by 275 to figure out what the discount would be, which would be essentially what that is a 63% discount with that item, at least with the teas, which that's over half. That's definitely a very good discount. And actually, I'll write down the write the formula right here, essentially what I did. $275, essentially. Now, so does that discount apply to anything else?
Yeah, it can apply to most everything in the store. The only thing that it doesn't really apply to, I believe, is the cookies and donuts. But for the pizza and drinks and anything else, the discount applies. But it's only whenever you have an account and you enter a phone number. Which is how a lot of stores, I think even this one, yeah, they have an app too. 7-Eleven has an app too.
7-Eleven
like
rewards.
Get like 75. Yeah.
Ah!
You can get like a 75% off on, or 75 cents.
Yeah, then, yeah, there it is. 50% off Americano. A coffee that is usually $1.50 becomes 75 cents. Huh. That's pretty good. And even free in some cases. So that's a 100% discount. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then free MovieNet when you buy a big gulp. That is really
definitely
really outdated.
And a really old ad, because I don't think Redbox is in business anymore.
I don't think so either. I think Netflix put them out of business. But yeah. But yeah.
Oh, here's another one. Buy 2 16-ounce Slurpees and enjoy free 22-ounce upsize. That's another discount deal that a lot of places have, where it's a buy one get one, or buy 2 get 1.
Yeah.
That's a different type of combo and stuff when it comes to prices.
Well,
and really makes it interesting with taxes.
Yeah, and I'll say for these, actually, I'll use these as an example, because Love's kind of has a thing like this, where, yeah, you buy one, get one for $1, and starting out, like, this would be like $2.69. So, usually speaking, if you buy them individually, so which would be 269 times 2, would be $5.38 before tax. And adding on thinking of that with 7-Eleven's taxes of 625%, would be a 33-cent increase in the price, making that $5.38 into, essentially by their price, $5.71. Now, if we're going based off of that, it means basically you buy one of them, get another one for $1, so that would turn that $2.69 times 2 into basically $2.69 plus 1.
Which should equal up to $3.69.
And yes, $3.69. And then we add on the sales tax by doing, again, timesing 0.0625, which is a 23-cent increase, meaning these chips go from being individually, if you buy them individually, $5.71 total, to $3.92. Now, to figure that out, the savings of that, we would just take the $3.92 divided by $5.71 in that order, and we find
I want to say like $1 something
well we
is what the total equals
yeah
up to.
well we find that that actually is a essentially is 68% price difference. Well, real good deal.
Yeah, it is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I know my dad is really great with finding discounts and stuff. Like one thing that he always does whenever we go to the store and stuff is he not only looks for cheaper items, but he also compares the prices of certain items to getting them individually.
Right.
Like sometimes whenever we go over to some sections, I get like ramen and stuff, or SpaghettiOs, or spaghetti meatballs. And what's interesting is buying them individually is actually more expensive than buying like a case of 4. Because if I remember correctly, with the sales tax, if I bought 4 individual cans of spaghetti meatballs, Chef Boyardee spaghetti meatballs, I believe the total number would equal up to about $18 and some change. I don't know the exact change. But buying a 4-pack case instead is actually cheaper because it ends up equaling up to, I believe, up there where we normally get them, we're at Dollar General, I believe it is about $13 and some change. And that's for a 4-pack rather than buying the individual, which increases more. I may be completely wrong on the prices, but I do know that getting individual is actually more expensive than getting the full.
Well, figuring that out would be 13 divided by 18. And
like I said, I can't remember the exact prices, so I can't give you exact math. I can very least get you close.
yeah, and now doing a formula here. And, well, okay, I was actually doing the math a little wrong. Great. So what we would actually do to figure that out, figure out the price difference, is we do 18 minus 13, so that would equal 5. So then we would take $5 divided by 18, which means the price difference is 27.8%. And actually, we will go back to the other dealio. If I can remember We'll just say 360. Let's do the before tax amount. And essentially, what it would be is 538 minus 369 which is $1.69. And then we take $1.69 divided by 538. Meaning a 31.4% price difference. Which ain't bad. Honestly, pretty good price difference in those cases.
Yeah. I know my dad always taught me stuff is whenever you go into certain places, always compare prices, because a lot of places are always going to be different when it comes to not only their tax rate, but also the prices with stores.
Very much so.
Because you're always going to get a different price when you go to one store compared to another.
Yep.
And even their tax rate are going to be different.
That's very true. Very true.
That's also why you usually buys in bulk with a lot of stuff. Because, like I said, sometimes it's cheaper to buy bulk than to get the individual items.
Yes, that's true in a lot of cases. Because it's a lot easier to, I guess, in the case of overall profit margins and that stuff depend on different factors. It depends on and then sales tax and discounts depend on different factors overall. But
yeah, like places like H-E-B having the yellow tags within the store to where you can get discounts for certain things. Like if you buy this item along with this item.
Right. But yeah, that'd be I guess the best way to explain it. So yeah, and